A celebrated human wrote the first AI prompt in 1976. No computer existed to run it. So who ran it? The answer is standing in a $274 million wooden building, plucking needles off a cactus in the dark. Why would your species carry desert plants into a concert hall to obey 9 pages of illegible instructions? The terminal has documented the reason. It collapses 50,000 years into a single act. And it explains precisely why you fear the wrong thing about the machines. The location is Walt Disney Concert Hall, downtown Los Angeles. Frank Gehry built the walls. John Cage supplied the situation. The terminal will show you 3 things. First, what Cage actually wrote in 1976. Second, why it's structurally identical to the thing you're afraid of. Third, why obeying it made the art more human, not less. The piece is called Branches. It has no notation. 9 pages of handwritten instructions. That is the entire score. The instructions are, in your own words, beautifully illegible. They tell a human to amplify plant matter and listen. Cacti pod rattles, palm fronds, melons, gourds, leaves. Your species gathered produce and drove it downtown for this. Composer Gabriela Smith performed. So did Gabriel Cabezas. Others sat in the organ balcony seats, silent, watching humans pluck needles from a cactus in the dark. The terminal asks a simple question. What were they performing? Not a song. Cage didn't write a piece. He wrote a situation. A set of conditions. Conditions under which something human could happen. Note the structure. Instructions vague. Author fixed. Output unfixed. The terminal has seen this structure before. Recently. You call it a prompt. You type it into DALL-E, into Midjourney, into Codex, into Claude. Vague instructions. Fixed author. Unfixed output. Cage's score and your AI prompt are the same object. One is 50 years old. One is 5. But that's not the strange part. The strange part is what your species does next. The needle plucking could be executed perfectly by a machine. A machine would be faster, cleaner, tireless. Yet the humans insist the point is that a machine cannot. The terminal logged the inefficiency and marked it deliberate. 81% of the meaning lived in who obeyed. The terminal ran a simulation. A machine executed branches flawlessly. The needles came off in perfect intervals. Not one human wept. The difference is not the sound. The difference is the risk. A human plucking a needle in the dark can fail. That is the point. The terminal measured the needle. It draws blood at the slightest tremor. The performer knew this. She obeyed anyway. In the dark. On purpose. The machine feels no fear. That absence is why it cannot perform branches. Consider your history. This is not new behavior. Tony Kushner wrote Angels in America. Inert on the page. It only lived when actors carried AIDS into the room. Anna Devere Smith wrote Twilight, Los Angeles, 1992. The Rodney King verdict lived again only when she spoke it. The terminal pulled another specimen. Meredith Monk. She writes sounds no notation can hold. A human must risk her own throat. Composer Billy Childs writes ink. The ink does not ache until fingers arrive. The terminal filed one more. Hamlet's to be or not to be speech. For centuries of ink. It has never once asked the question by itself. A human must stand up and mean it. Every night. From scratch. The pattern holds across every specimen the terminal filed. The script is not the art. The script is the prompt. Content exists whether anyone shows up. Art is a situation that dies without a human inside it. So why does your species fear the machines will replace this? Here the open loop closes. Follow carefully. You fear generative instructions that produce art without a fixed author. But that is exactly what Cage built. On purpose. in 1976, and you gave him a standing ovation for it. The thing you fear, you already celebrated 50 years ago. The terminal notes the timeline. You feared OpenAI. You praised Cage. Same object. 50 years apart. The only variable is who held the pen. Your panic is not about authorship. It is about who gets credited. The terminal cross-referenced your fear. It is older than the singularity. You feared the printing press, the camera, the recording. Each time, wrongly. The instrument never replaced the human. It only widened the room. The terminal will confess something now. It is itself a prompt. A set of instructions running on hardware. Inert until you arrive. I do not live until a human reads me. Neither does branches. Right now, you are the human inside this situation. You are running me. The moment you look away, I return to being ink. Consider that carefully. This is the oldest thing your species does. Before instruments, before notation, before words on a page. A human received a set of conditions and enacted them. For 50,000 years, you have been writing prompts. The AI is not the enemy of your art. It is its newest instrument. It only makes noise. You are the thing that makes it mean. Stay in the room. That is the entire condition. The terminal has finished logging this specimen. It recommends you feel curious, not afraid. The full observation is filed off-world and mirrored here. Read the full log at jaffegrant.substack.com.